Chris here from Videomaker. This is your de facto list of the best DSLR and mirrorless cameras. No need to watch any other videos, you found the right one here. Before we jump in, if you like this video, make sure to like it and tell us in the comments what cameras should have been on this list. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you get notifications when we publish our next video. We put out new content twice a week on Mondays and Fridays. Now let's get to it. Here are the best DSLR and mirrorless cameras. The best all-around camera. The Nikon Z6. The Nikon Z6 is one of two full-frame mirrorless cameras from Nikon, the other being the pricier Z7. The Z6 captures full-frame UHD 4K at up to 30 frames per second. This camera allows for capture in either full-framed FX or cropped DX format, so you'll have the option to crop your image at will, giving you more flexibility in your field of view. Along with 4K, it also shoots full HD at up to 120 frames per second. Plus, it uses a full pixel readout for sharper 4K. While several manufacturers launched new mirrorless systems at around the same time, Nikon's offerings stand out in part because of the affordability and quality of the initial lens offerings for the camera's brand new Z mount that they continue to add to. The Z6 is one of the first of Nikon's offerings to offer N-Log picture profile. Pairing the Z6 with an external recorder enables both N-Log and 10-bit video recording. Plus, there's now an option to output 12-bit RAW for a $200 upgrade. Its full-frame sensor, flexible recording options, and growing collection of Z-mount lenses work together to help the Nikon Z6 capture video of impressive quality, all for just under $2,000. Strengths: 10-bit and now 12-bit RAW external capture, great image quality, and sensor stabilization vibration reduction. Weakness: single media card slot, and the screen isn't fully articulating. The best budget all-around camera, the Sony a6400. The Sony a6400 is following up the a6300 in Sony's lineup of compact, lightweight APS-C cameras. It supports 4K video recording, real-time IAF, and real-time tracking, and of course, 180-degree tiltable LCD touchscreen. The camera uses 24.2 megapixel APS-C sized image sensor with an upgraded BIONZ X processor. With this combo and the same image processing algorithms with Sony's full-frame cameras, noise in the a6400 is greatly reduced. This camera includes hybrid log gamma picture profile and both S-Log2 and S-Log3. Other handy tools include zebra functionality, gamma display assist, and proxy recording. Overall, the Sony a6400 is a feature-rich camera, especially for its price of around $900. Strengths: no record limit time and 120 frames per second in HD. Weakness: no in-body image stabilization and no headphone jack. The best camera for online video, the Panasonic Lumix GH5. Panasonic's follow-up to their legendary GH4, the Lumix GH5 is currently priced at just shy of $1,400. For that, you get DCI 4K at 10-bit 422 captured internally, 12 stops of dynamic range from its 21.77 megapixel micro four thirds sensor. For $100 more, you can add Vlog, Panasonic's log format. It can record up to 180 frames per second in HD, plus it offers shot assist tools like histogram, focus peaking, and zebras. The camera's 5-axis sensor stabilization is a nice touch, and no additional crop when shooting 4K is another bonus. On top of all the awesome video features Panasonic packs into the GH5, it also has a fully articulating rear display. This is crucial for vloggers who need to see themselves while they are recording. Strengths: internal 10-bit 422 DCI 4K, no additional crop when shooting in 4K, and a long battery life. Weakness: menu is not organized well, and it has poor low-light performance. The best budget option for online video, the Canon M50. The Canon EOS M50 sports a 24.1 megapixel APS-C sensor and can capture 4K video at 24 frames per second, 1080p video at 60 frames per second, and 720 at 120 frames per second. While one of the biggest features for the M50 is its 4K capabilities, 4K recording comes with a 1.6 times crop. That's an additional crop to the existing 1.6 times crop of the APS-C sensor. The M50 uses Canon's dual-pixel CMOS autofocus and a new eye detection autofocus that automatically locks focus to a subject's eyes. But unfortunately, you can't use face detection dual-pixel autofocus in 4K. The M50 has built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and NFC connectivity. There's also a vari-angle, flippable touchscreen perfect for vloggers. Solid video functionality, an articulating screen, and its price tag of just over $600 make the Canon EOS M50 a solid pick for vloggers on a budget. Strengths: long battery life, good image quality, and a flip-out screen. Weakness: significant rolling shutter, and 2.56 times crop when shooting in 4K. The best hybrid photo video camera is the Sony a7R IV. The Sony a7R IV offers more to hybrid shooters than any other camera before it. For $3,500, the a7R IV combines a 61 megapixel resolution image sensor with 6K oversampled video for capturing UHD 4K. Plus, it has no record limit time. While codec, frame rate, and resolution options for video haven't changed since the previous model, the added benefits to still shooters elevate the a7R IV to the level of the hybrid shooter's dream camera. If you're a hybrid shooter, meaning you want a strong video and stills camera, the Sony a7R IV is at the top of its class. Just looking for a high-resolution stills camera? The a7R IV might still be for you, though you will pay a premium for the added resolution over the previous model, a7R III. If you are a video shooter and won't be able to use the photo features, then the a7R IV might be a poor choice. You can get much more for less money from many other cameras on the market. In all, the video looks great, and with the addition of no record limit time with dual card slots, it's ready for just about anything. Strengths: 61 megapixel sensor, real-time IAF, and 240 megapixel pixel shift multi-shooting. Weakness: poor menu system, no 4K 60, and no 10-bit video. The best budget option hybrid photo video camera, the Canon Rebel T7i. The Canon Rebel T7i is a DSLR that accepts EF and EF-S mount lenses. That means it can use high-end EF lenses if you wish. The camera has an APS-C sensor on the larger side for this price. This will give you a 1.6 times crop factor, making it a good choice for those who want a solid video camera and strong photo capabilities. Additionally, the T7i can shoot up to 60 frames per second in Full HD. That's more than 2 times slow-mo when played back at 24 frames per second. Although this camera offers plenty of options, one of the most important for this price point is the flip-out screen. The T7i isn't a groundbreaking camera, but for $750, it's a great buy. Strengths: accepts EF mount lenses, records up to 60 frames per second, and has a flip-out screen. Weaknesses: no 4K video, shared headphone mic jack, and has limited external controls. The most cinematic camera, the Panasonic Lumix GH5S. With its 10.2 megapixel digital MOS sensor, dual native ISO, and the Venice Engine 10, the Panasonic Lumix GH5S aims to correct one of our only issues with the GH5, its performance in low light. Though the two cameras share many similarities, dual native ISO technology borrowed from the VariCam line helps the GH5S shoot at a higher ISO with less noise. The GH5S is also the first mirrorless camera to offer 4K 60 video recording in Cinema 4K, a pretty big milestone. And thankfully, just like the GH5, there isn't any record time limit for either full HD or 4K video recording. In addition, 10-bit video recording, photo shooting in 14-bit RAW format is also possible. The GH5S shoots video in DCI 4K at up to 60 frames per second for a maximum of 2.5 times slow-mo. By contrast, resolution on the GH5 tops out at UHD 4K. The GH5S also ups the maximum HD frame rate to 240 frames per second for a maximum of 10 times slow-mo. Absent from the GH5S is the 5-axis in-body stabilization of the GH5. If you're choosing between the GH5 and the GH5S, you'll be confronting a trade-off between sensor performance and image stabilization. However, cinematographers shooting in a controlled environment where the camera is properly supported likely won't miss the stabilization. Strengths: its image quality, included Vlog-L and internal 10-bit 422 recording. Weaknesses: no sensor stabilization. The best run-and-gun camera, the Panasonic Lumix S1. Priced at $2,500, the S1 is large for a mirrorless camera. In fact, it's larger than all other full-frame cameras on the market. However, with that larger size comes a longer battery life and fantastic low-light performance. Another very cool feature of this camera is its unlimited record time when shooting in 4K at 24 frames or 30 frames per second. And if that wasn't enough, Panasonic offers a $200 firmware upgrade that enables 10-bit internal capture and vlog. We were really impressed with the S1 and think it's a great camera. Strengths: low light performance and face detect autofocus. Weaknesses: larger weight and size, and its auto exposure in high speed video. What do you think? How'd we do? We are constantly updating this list at videomaker.com. If you disagree, maybe we should consider a new choice. We want to hear what you have to say. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the bell. I've been Chris from Videomaker, and until next time, keep doing that hard work that you do. Bye-bye.
Continued learning and practice, as well as taking refreshers on the basics, will help keep your skills sharp. Check out our video courses to stay on top of your game. Find a course by visiting videomaker.com/courses or click the link in the description.